Did you know that the best way to support students in school is with the support of their local community? There was a study in 2017 that discovered that family and community involvement fostered an overwhelmingly positive impact on student performance. Today, we will be discussing one main aspect of their findings, which is utilizing data to set priorities and then acting upon them. I'm Raid, here with Jotform. Let's get started. So, why is data so important for community engagement? Collecting data for education is nothing new. A principal research scientist at ACT explains that as schools become increasingly data-rich organizations, they are also able to effectively use their data to improve learning and teaching. Using data allows for an adequate portrayal of school and student progress, teacher quality, and school climate. Better yet, you'll need this data to solicit the support of the community for school improvements. It's difficult to engage parents in conversations about improving schools and academic achievements if they aren't given the data or tools to assess academic progress. Data allows community partners to understand where schools are excelling, where they could use improvements, and how the community can help. Essentially, this data offers a blueprint for how school administrators and members of the community can best make improvements to local schools. This data can also be used to gather feedback from the community, which can be very useful to school administrators when making decisions. Community members are interested in their future leaders. Utilizing data can help schools to capitalize on that interest and guide community members in how they can help improve school performance and student achievement. You can also utilize data to engage community stakeholders. Communication is a two-way street, and it's no different when it comes to reaching out to your stakeholders. While schools should be reaching out and sharing data with the surrounding community, they should also solicit feedback from the community stakeholders and figure out what their concerns are for the school. Then see how they would like to help. Sharing important data with your community allows for stakeholders to help create new ways to improve schools and student outcomes. Then community resources can be aligned to better serve and support students. Now, let's get into how to start a two-way dialogue with community stakeholders. First, focus on painting a picture of the school and student performance. It's important that your community is aware of how their local school compares to others and how their students are performing. Understanding how the school currently operates is important to know before jumping ahead and trying to make improvements. The executive director of the Education for the Future initiative says that there are 4 types of data sets which can be used to gauge a school's effectiveness. These include demographic data, student learning data, perceptions data, and school processes data. Demographics data describes the school itself, along with its students, staff, and community. It includes things like school safety, student class sizes, years of experience between the staff members, as well as the economic base of the community. Student learning data shows the impact that the school's education has on students via standard assessments and teacher-assigned grades. Perceptions data is used to help schools understand what stakeholders think about the learning environment. This asks students what motivates them to learn, as well as teacher perceptions about what kind of change is possible. And lastly, school processes data helps to build a continuation of learning for all students through instructional strategies and classroom practices. After collecting and analyzing these sets of data, schools can show what their learning environment and overall performance looks like. Once schools have this information, it's much easier for them to reach out to the community and ask for help. Canyon View High School saw that more than half of their 9th grade class had failed the state reading proficiency exam. Once they combed through the data, school administrators could trace it all the way back to these students missing too many school days in the 1st grade. Canyon View High was able to figure out the issue, show the community where exactly they needed help, then encourage the community to get their students to school regularly to avoid something like this happening in the future. After showing what the school and student performance looks like overall, it's time to show the community how they can help too. Most people outside of the school system see schools as an isolated institution, wherein schools and student learning are the sole responsibility of the educators. This is untrue. Educators know that they can't do it alone and need the support of parents and the rest of the community. A report by the Southern Regional Education Board emphasizes just how important it is for school districts to engage parents and larger communities in an ongoing dialogue about how schools can improve to better prepare students for future successes in and out of school. They suggest that schools ask and answer questions that show how the community can help build schools which require students to think, solve problems, and produce high-quality work. Answering these questions will provide you with the data needed to drive discussions about community involvement in schools. It then becomes much easier for schools to overcome hurdles in student achievement. Lastly, it's important that schools encourage feedback from their community. According to the American Association of School Administrators, or AASA, engaging the public begins with listening. It's up to school administrators to start the conversation with community stakeholders. Ask them about any concerns they may have for the school, see what data they like to see to show improvement, and most importantly, listen to community insights and report back to them about how their input shapes decision-making. Getting community feedback is crucial, and luckily there are several effective ways to do so. Schools can host open public forums, distribute a community survey, host focus groups, have individual conversations with community members, host study circles, and create social media groups. Make sure that there are several ways for community members to participate in the conversation. Some may prefer voicing their opinions virtually via social media, or they may want to discuss issues and potential solutions in person. Either way, it should be possible for all community stakeholders to be included in the discussion. Okay, let's review. Schools can utilize data to engage the surrounding community and better improve student learning. Collecting this data allows educators to better assess their students as well as solicit support from community members. Being presented with valuable data allows community stakeholders to have a better understanding of how they can help local schools. Once presented with the data, the community can share data insights and ideas on how to improve the school system. Overall, community support is absolutely vital to the success of schools and their students. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm Raid, here with Jotform. Have a great day.